This is one of those things in modern culture that is a double-edged sword. Okay, is it acceptable for spouses to cheat on each other? Absolutely not. Okay, um, but there is a wisdom that comes from hard-earned experience, and it comes from being in a devoted marriage and going through struggles. And I can tell you from the wife's perspective. And I've been talking about traditional culture and how I'm a traditional woman. And yeah, there's this, you have to have perspective. Okay, there's something about modern Western people. I think Western people in general, they just don't have any perspective. Like, your culture right now is very young, it's very new. You have a very fragmented way of looking at everything because you don't have a cohesive continuity to your culture. Let's just use my culture as an example. In Japan still, like, chauvinism is open in Japan. I don't see the men over there giving it up very quickly at all. I think it's going to take another 1,000 years. I've had to deal with this sometimes racist idea that, like, directly racist idea that Asian women are submissive, and that's just not true. Or actually, here's the thing, because we deal with chauvinism for thousands of years, we know the value of womanhood. A society is not built on chauvinism, okay? Society is built on devoted wives and mothers and strong women. Devoted wives, mothers, and strong women as communities hold their men down, and that's what builds society. Japanese women know this. Korean women know this. Okay, traditional women know this. The fact that men are more likely to go around and have whatever woman they want, inside or out, outside, being married or not. This has been something that's been going on since time immemorial. Okay, equality on that front has not been a thing for the vast majority of human history. Only very recently have women even begun to embrace this idea that there is equality on that front in a wider dimension. I have shared that my husband went outside our marriage and that he committed adultery, and it has been sometimes extraordinarily difficult for me. It was agony. Being a woman who spans both the modern world and the traditional world, I concluded that I didn't feel any obligation whatsoever to stay with my husband after that happened. But in my deep prayer life, I had to go through a process with myself and then with him. And I've been thinking very deeply about this. And I have seen women in my generation, mostly modern Western women, mostly the vast majority, but some not. And y'all going overboard with this idea that somehow there can be this absolute equality on that front. And y'all are just breaking up the families because of infidelity, and because there isn't this strong womanhood, traditional womanhood at all in modern culture at all, and communal, like, it's every woman for themselves, right? There's not this communal identity that now women have become the cheaters. Maybe not quite on par with men, but close. Listen, as a woman, as a wife who was cheated on by the love of her life, okay, and the father of her children, and I'm still with him, I'm telling you that there's a lot worse things that could have happened. First of all, he could have knocked up the women that he was with, okay, and that didn't happen. He could have gone to jail because of his fuckboy nonsense, his other fuckboy nonsense. He could have been shot, stabbed, and there were situations this could have happened. I could have lost the father of my children in violent acts. I could have, he could have been in jail. But for the grace of God and for his loving wife, these things didn't happen. One thing that I've always known is that it is women who hold society together. And while I am not saying that infidelity should be put up with from either sex, what I am saying is I'm reminding you that this is a double-edged sword. If you don't, especially the women, if the women don't work this out on a deeper level when it comes to their men, then you're just going to break up families over and over and over again. And you can demand accountability from men, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen right away, especially not on a societal level. Okay? You have to remember that for the vast majority of human history, a man was not at all expected to stay inside his marriage. Okay? In some cultures, he could just take another wife if he wanted to, and he could have concubines. And so the fact that women have even been able to expect this on some level is pretty remarkable. And that's not to say, again, that then we should just put up with anything. But especially as a woman, you have to realize, first of all, that you're stronger than you know. Secondly, that you are the foundation of your family. You are the heart of society. And without you, these men have no hope.